for San Jose for their first Gold Cup game this coming weekend. Mauricio Pochettino's side heading into this one off the back of a 2-1 defeat against Türkiye at the weekend. And a special moment for the Aronson brothers, Brendan and Paxton, tonight.
And love seeing brothers out there. Parents have to be super proud. But Paxton and Aronson, I don't think U.S. fans that haven't been following his club career have seen how special this kid can be.
We're underway here in Nashville. A memorable night for those brothers, a memorable night for Walker Zimmerman as well, who gets the start today in the building he calls home with Nashville SC. But a big test ahead here against a Switzerland side that is much changed from the weekend. Ranked number 20th in the world. The US 4 places higher at number 16th, but the Switzerland squad in confident mood after a 4-2 win against Mexico in Salt Lake City at the weekend in front of a 41,000 crowd. And this throw on the far side in towards Embolo, the Monaco man, who will be a threat up top tonight. 17 goals in 76 caps for the 28-year-old Bril Embolo.
I mean, look, I was walking down the tunnel and past him. It's an understatement to say this guy's going to be a handful. That's a big boy.
At the back tonight for the US, trying to deal with Embolo. It is McKenzie and Zimmerman, the second game together for that pairing. The first was a 1-0 loss in Panama in a World Cup qualifier in October of 2021. Matt Turner plays it downfield. Turner with the captain's armband on tonight. The 5th time he's captained the side, the first since the Gold Cup in 2023. Turner's first game for club or country since March, and the Nations League 3rd place game against Canada, as Berhalter in the midfield was able to pick it up and play the ball forward. Wide to the right it goes. And no way through down that far side for Brenden Aaronson. This is Zimmerman at the back for the United States, who scored early. 59 seconds is all it took at the weekend for Jack McGlynn to find the back of the net to give them the 1-goal advantage against Türkiye. The earliest the US have scored since Shaq Moore found the net in the 2021 Gold Cup in just 20 seconds. But Mauricio Pochettino said he was happy with the level that was set in terms of the way the team needed to work. He said that now has to be the point from which they build. They cannot let that level drop anywhere below what they set at the weekend. Out it comes towards Arston on the left side. Arston, just one of 2 players who started in Hartford and starts again tonight. Great link-up play down the left with Brenden Aaronson as Arston's cross was swung in and cleared away at the back.
Arston was excellent last game. I mean, this is exactly how he started against Türkiye. I mean, just look at the high position, and Switzerland playing more of a medium block, really tucked in, almost surrendering the wide side of the field. Lovely combination, and you can see what he's trying to do. Right idea to try to hit it early and behind, but a handful early on, as he was last game.
Valverde playing it back towards Kobel, the Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper, a 13th cap for him tonight. Still waiting for his first clean sheet as the starting goalkeeper. Played 90 minutes against Mexico and has started 8 of 10 games now since the Euros, following the retirement of Jan Sommer. Paxton Aaronson down that right side, unable to find a way through as he linked up with Quinn Sullivan. 2 players that know each other, having come through the ranks at Philadelphia Union. Sullivan down the right side, made his debut at the weekend coming off the bench in Hartford. Now across to Arston, a 5th cap for the Columbus crewman. McKenzie across the back, and Zimmerman will stride forward.
You can see Switzerland just inviting that ball into these wide positions. They don't want any of those passes to break the lines internally.
Down the line by Berhalter into the path of Brenden Aaronson. Aaronson then finds Arston, who had come forward. Elvedi across to put it out by the corner flag for a throw.
It's a few times now that he just terrific positioning. Here's that lovely bit of skill a moment ago. came on last game, and Sullivan was lively. I love the confidence he's showing going at players early on.
Ariel starting at right back today, having come on the opposite side on Saturday. And this is Mackenzie.
Ariel, he does that with his club team as well. He loves to tuck into the central positions. We saw Freeman do it occasionally later on in the last game. It just creates another challenge, another scheme for the Switzerland players to be switched on.
Played forward here down the right side. Brian White chasing as it comes in towards the middle. Akanji, the Manchester City man, trying to get it away. Bit of a battle in the midfield here as it's picked up there by Yashari. All right, Yakin, 50-year-old head coach of Switzerland, talking pre-game about the fact that he has made changes today to give some young players an opportunity. Picked away by Akanji there, the veteran, 71st cap for the 29-year-old Manchester City defender. Berholt sending this one long towards the right side where he couldn't find the ball to Paxton Aronson. Yakin with 49 caps as a player for Switzerland as a central defender over a decade, from 94 to 2004. Appointed as the Swiss boss in August of 2021. It's the 10th all-time meeting between these teams, the US winning just one of the previous 9. It was in Basel, a 2007 friendly, a 1-0 victory with Michael Bradley scoring the goal. Berhalter couldn't get a foot in there on his debut. Wide to the right it comes for Johan Manzambi. Manzambi just 19 years old. And Doy down the left side. This one's pulled back into the box, and Berhalter able to get there. One of 2 Vancouver Whitecaps players starting this game tonight. Berhalter, the other one Brian White, his club teammate.
Yeah, really well done from Berhalter. Watched him that whole sequence, just picking out the danger area as the ball shifted to the other side of the field. Very timely interception there.
Berhalter, the only debutant today, but 3 players making their first US start. Ariel and Sullivan, the other 2, after making debuts off the bench at the weekend. And Doy down the left side, good foot in there from Ariel. Paxton Aronson down the right finds Quinn Sullivan. Zimmerman with the ball forward towards halfway. Schmidt, the Leeds United right back, 25-year-old teammate of Brendan Aronson. Down the left side, Ricardo Rodriguez, the cross whipped into the middle. Manzambi battling for it on his first start, having made his debut at the weekend.
That's one of those details, just so slow to get out there when Granit Xhaka switches the point of attack. This is a little more of a languid and conservative approach than last game from the US. I mean, they were flying around, winning the ball. This is just a lot of time for these high-quality midfielders for Switzerland to be on the ball.
Right to the left here for Danan Doy. US able to defend it, now it goes for a corner. 8 minutes in here in Nashville.
And that's what Bees was talking after the game, and Tillman was so excellent in the last game. And in those little pockets, turning around, positionally covering, making sure the ball doesn't enter, but if it enters, spinning around and trying to win it back and hurrying all those deep playmakers for Turkey.
Ricardo Rodriguez with the outswing, headed away there by Paxton Aronson. It's fired in from distance. Abisha, the Bologna man, putting it wide. Just one career goal for Switzerland. Matt Turner will get things going here. Rumoured to be making a move to French football with Lyon. It's reported that Nottingham Forest have accepted a bid up to $9 million. And that's exactly what Matt Turner needs. First team football. Lyon do have a Brazilian keeper right now who has been their first choice, but he's said to be leaving this summer. So for Matt Turner, hopefully things falling into place in the year leading up to the World Cup. Turner firing downfield, looking towards Brian White. White, who's having such a good season with Vancouver Whitecaps. Berhalter, his club teammate, flicking that one forward. Away it goes by Kobel, and the pressure there from Brendan Aronson. Graham White and Sebastian Berhalter, such a big part of Vancouver Whitecaps' run to the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. Here's Berhalter on the ball in the midfield. Johnny Cardoso out to the right side. Cardoso playing the first half at the weekend. Now Quinn Sullivan up against Rodriguez. Nicely worked down that right side. Johnny Cardoso's ball in. No one there on the edge of the area as Switzerland played up towards Embolo, just short of halfway. And the referee gives the free kick the way of Switzerland. Andrew Samuel, the man in the middle tonight from Trinidad. His first US game in charge.
That's well done from Zimmerman. Had to make that challenge. He stepped, read it early. And just allows his team to get back in transition. That's the one area Mexico struggled big time with against Switzerland last game, is just one pass beat so many players and no one was close enough positionally to either force a foul or force a negative pass.
Switzerland winning their last 2 games in a row. Mexico the weekend by 4-2. Luxembourg a 3-1 win, the second game of the window in March. First back-to-back wins they've had since June of 2024. Back it comes towards Akanji. Played just over an hour at the weekend on his first appearance for Switzerland since last October. Two-time Premier League winner with Manchester City, Akanji.
Very compact, the U.S. I mean, you can see there's probably only 30 yards between the back line and the first line of contention. Very important they get pressure on the ball if they're going to play such a high line. See a lot of communication between McKenzie and Zimmerman early on.
Helveti's ball out wide to the left side. And Doy, one of 2 Bologna players in the starting lineup today. Into the midfield. Pushed forward by Yashari, the Bruges man, and Doy in round the back. Darren Doy with a goal. Switzerland in front, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, this is what I was just saying. I mean, when you don't have a direct and immediate pressure on the ball, I mean, that's just way too easy. Now, obviously, that's very fortunate that that deflection makes it through to Ndoye, but all of that space is behind the back line. If you're going to be playing that high, you just not enough. You can see players jogging to get into position. And again, I mean, very unfortunate deflection. Just too easy for the Switzerland midfielders, and that's just a really nice finish. Low, hard, places it. That's a tough save for Turner to make. Switzerland off to a good start on their first effort. They bury it.
Goals in back-to-back games for Darren Doy, who scored at the weekend in the win against Mexico. It's his 4th start in a row. Got a vital goal last summer in the Euros in the 1-1 draw against Germany, the final group game to seal the knockout round place. And a free kick given here. Xhaka, Rodriguez pleading their case to the referee, but the US will get a chance for an immediate response. Berhalter standing over it alongside Quinn Sullivan. Sullivan, the 21-year-old from Philadelphia. It will be Berhalter with the delivery, and the keeper got a touch to it. McKenzie was in there closest to getting a head onto that one, but it was pushed away there by Kobel. The danger not gone just yet, though, as the cross comes in there from Paxton Aronson. Xhaka got ahead to it. Little flick on by Mbolo, but he's given it away. And Brenden Aaronson cushions that one back towards Afston, who finds Walker Zimmerman.
Let's see from Kobel. We'll see it in a moment, but boy, that was a big save.
McKenzie brings it forward, pushed down the left for Afston. He helps that one along the line, but just out of play before Brenden Aaronson could get on it.
I mean, it's an excellent ball in here from Berhalter. Tons of pace on it. And you can see, because he just glances ahead of her, and here's a look. That, from our angle, that looked like it was going right in the side netting. And you know, Kobel takes a step forward that cuts that angle down even before the header. Very big-time save.
Look there from the AT&T net cam. Switzerland lead here and play the ball out to the left. De Berhalter has been magnificent with his set-piece delivery this season in Major League Soccer. One of the reasons he's got the call up here. Rodriguez charging forward, finds the goal scorer Ndoye. Back it comes towards Ricardo Rodriguez. The cross headed away by McKenzie. He'll drop towards the former Arsenal man Granit Xhaka. Now with Bayer Leverkusen, but right now being linked with many different clubs across Europe. And Akanji will float this one out towards the far side. Ndoye gets by Harriel, and Ndoye with the strike. And that one's taken a deflection for another corner.
This is a tough thing as a debutant to be going up against. I mean, he's lucky his teammate is there to bail him out. I mean, lovely footwork there from Ndoye. The step overs and nutmeg almost gets on the end of it.
Second quarter of the game as Rodriguez takes it and goes short. Xhaka's ball forward. Now Rodriguez still there, pulls this one back to the edge of the area, and fortunately for the United States, Johnny Cardoso was able to get a touch, because right as it came towards the edge of the box, Schmidt was about to let fly with a shot.
That's two really important last-minute touches that Cardoso gets on the ball. And that was going to be a very clear goal-scoring opportunity, almost just the bottom of his cleat that deflects it to take it away.
Johnny Cardoso getting another chance to start tonight, and Mauricio Pochettino admitting that the mistake at the weekend that led to the first goal, the game-tying goal by Turkey, did affect Johnny Cardoso mentally the rest of that game. So
it was a shame. He was having such a great game. I was loving De La Torre and him in the midfield. I mean, they were really just dominating and just didn't really get back into the game after that one, but starting strong here.
Played forward by Yashari, and Johnny Cardoso brings it down. Two sets of club teammates going up against each other tonight. Rodriguez, the left back, a teammate of Johnny Cardoso's at Real Betis in Spain. And I mentioned earlier about Isaac Schmidt, the right back, who is going up against Brenden Aaronson, the Leeds United pair, facing off against each other. And in fact, Aaronson has spent a lot of this first 18 minutes right in front of his club teammate. Aaronson much more integral to Leeds United's promotion last season than Schmidt, who didn't play many minutes. But they were on the pitch together for 10 games, but only for a total of 42 minutes, Brenden Aaronson and Isaac Schmidt.
Switzerland starting to push up that first line of confrontation. See if the U.S. can just stay calm and try to play out of this.
Schmidt's ball high forward, headed inside there by Afston. Brian White battling for it on halfway, but Granit Xhaka will play it all the way back to Kobel. Kobel starting 13 Champions League games, had 4 clean sheets in the Champions League with Dortmund. They lost to Barcelona in the quarter-final. Part of the team that lost in the final against Real Madrid, was in the Champions League team of the season in 23-24. Xhaka from a deep position, finding Akanji.
One of the issues with the U.S. Without the ball, bad give right here.
Brian White just couldn't quite get there as the danger was read by Akanji. And forward comes Rodriguez down the left side. The crossfield ball picking out Schmidt up against Afston. Afston back towards Turner, who can clear up towards halfway. That Turner's last club appearance was the FA Cup 5th round win against Millwall. Kenzie's ball across the back towards Zimmerman. Now in his 6th season with Nashville. The MLS veteran who has played 276 regular season games across Nashville, Dallas and LAFC. This is his first time representing the United States in Nashville. Cap number 45 for Zimmerman, the native of Lawrenceville, Georgia. 20 minutes in, it's 1-0. Gannon Doy scoring after 13 minutes. Ariel down the right side, part of a heavy Philadelphia Union influence in this squad. Ariel, part of the Philadelphia Union youth setup. Paxton Aronson was talking about how much easier it made it coming into the US camp. The fact that he probably joined the first team around the same time as Quinn, McGlynn, Harriel. This is White. Into the path of Quinn Sullivan.
Beautiful take from White. Bring that down. Switzerland center backs thought he was offside. Murphy's assistant definitely got that one right. This is the thing with the pressing, Luke, is the U.S. team, it's one player at a time. It's not sequenced where there's a second player, a third player that's already trying to close space. And so it's just been pretty easy for Switzerland to just beat that initial pressure because there's never a second, third U.S. player that's also pressing. And that was the thing they did so well against Turkey last game. They're kind of stuck between gears, Luke. I mean, they're not really sitting back. They're not really pressing. It's just lacking that intensity. It's not about going and chasing and flying all over the place. It's about triggers that force the ball to one side. And you can see the movement of several players on the U.S. that are closing the ball down. We're just seeing individuals apply that pressure so far.
Delfetti fires it down the right side, looking for Manzambi. Afston coming to close down. Manzambi cutting inside, driving towards the byline. A positive run is put in right on the goal line for the second goal. Aebischer scores from close range. But it's the teenager, Johan Manzambi, who made it with a wonderful run. And it's 2-0 for Switzerland midway through the first half in Nashville.
And then again, no pressure on the ball. I mean, look at how much time Manzambi has to pick this ball up. I mean, wonderful skill right here, especially just Marston's expecting the cross to come, but he just drags the ball right here. A little step over, doesn't cross it, drags it with him. And too easy. But Manzambi, you gotta love this skill. Here's another look at it. Step over, and Marston at this point backing up. He thinks that cross is coming. He reaches, he's off balance to try to block it. And then just a really easy tap in at this point. Really strong start from Switzerland, but the U.S. just allowing them so much space to come and attack them.
And concerning now, at the quarter mark in the game, the U.S. finding themselves trailing by 2-0. They've really had just the one foray forward to Tezcoble, which came from that set piece that was taken so well by Sebastian Berhalter. But this inexperienced US side now has to try and find a way to first limit any more damage and then climb back into this game.
You know, Pochettino talked a lot about what's required, what he expects, and it's not about, you know, giving the ball away or making mistakes or scoring goals. It's not really that tactical approach. It's the passion, it's the requisite work ethic and just being difficult and combative and hard to play against. We saw that last game. You know, we saw a few minutes of bad mistakes, right? But overall, a very good performance where that intensity level rarely dropped. We haven't seen anything match that intensity level so far yet this game. And that's one of those things that's just puzzling. Why is that happening? What does it take to be able to get the point across to maintain that requisite level of competitive spirit and just being difficult, winning your individual battles.
So Ndoye with the first, Aebischer with the second, and Switzerland in control here. Aebischer's second international goal. His first came almost a year ago. He scored and assisted in the 3-1 win against Hungary to open the Euros last year. Had some time out with an injury between October and February. But Aebischer starts tonight. The US conceding 2 first-half goals in back-to-back games for the first time since 2013. Mauricio Pochettino's side responded well after being rocked by those 2 goals in a little over 2 minutes at the weekend and dominated the second half. In the second half, out shooting Türkiye 10-2. Maybe a different story here today because Murat Yakin's side has looked extremely strong and the US unable to get a foothold at all so far. No Tyler Adams tonight. He's not amongst the squad because of a foot issue. Here's Ndoye down the left side. Plenty of movement forward here for Switzerland. Ndoye curling that one in. Arston deals with it.
Manzabi and Ndoye, this is just a dream game for them. I mean, they're picking up the ball facing forward with 15 yards here. Here it goes again to take people on. Rarely a second defender there that they've got to beat.
Schmidt coming forward from fullback. The assistant with the flag up on the near side for offside. This the first meeting between these nations in the United States since the 1994 World Cup. That's the only time they've met in a non-friendly match. A 1-1 draw in Detroit with Eric Winalda's free kick leveling the game. The most recent meeting was a 2-1 scoreline in favour of Switzerland in May of 2021. Brendan Aronson played in that game, so did McKenzie. They start tonight. Dest and Ream also in the squad, the only other players involved in that match. Of course, this is the final game before the Gold Cup, which starts Sunday against Trinidad and Tobago in San Jose. Then it's Austin for a match against Saudi Arabia before finishing the group against Haiti in Arlington. Sullivan Harriel trying to win the ball back on the far side, but this comes towards Xhaka. Xhaka with the driven ball away. Spent 7 seasons at Arsenal, won the FA Cup twice, a Europa League runner-up during his time there as well in 2019. Harriel down the right. Cross for Berhalter. Into the 29th minute. Arston picks it up down the left side, finds Brendan Aronson. Zimmerman with the high ball forward, Aronson going chasing. And Schmidt puts it away for a throw for the United States here.
Really well done from Schmidt. Thought he was beat there. Lovely bit of skill to collect that on the head and be able to swivel and play it out. And Aronson thought he was in.
Harriel getting set to launch the long throw in towards the penalty area. Cleared as far as Zimmerman. Back out towards Harriel, who cushions the header down. Here's Arston. Schmidt gets it away. McKenzie came to try and get there, but it's picked up in the midfield here. And then the crossfield ball from Rodriguez, wonderful into the path of Embolo. He's in round the back. It's Bril Embolo here against Austin, who got back, scrambled into position, got the block in, but now struggling to deal with Embolo here. And it's put out of play for a Switzerland corner.
Another diagonal ball that just plenty of space for him to run in behind, and he just doesn't get